starting tomorrow, that is the time to eject anything that's not currently serving you. Whether those are relationships, whether those are activities that you just kind of, I just always did it like this. And examine the stuff in your life and poke it and see, does this part still work? Does this work? Should I be getting rid of this? There are a lot of things that I used to do that I don't do anymore. And I had to, all over the last week, been going through really examining it truthfully to say, I have a garage full of all the stuff from different activities I was in that I haven't looked at in years.
All right. Well, I'd like to welcome everybody to the full moon in May. Even though it's April 30th, we are working on the intention of tomorrow's full moon, May 1st, 2026. Hello, ladies. I'm so happy to see you all here.
Oh, and you too, sweetie. It's good to know you're home and safe.
Yeah. Oh, so Mickey's referring to the fact that Carol and I have been visiting Greece.
Yeah.
We're home in the United States again. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fun trip. Very nice trip. We have pictures over the Acropolis.
Oh, the Acropolis.
Anyway, we have pictures of that is illuminated with the new moon above it.
Oh,
just the sliver of it. So yeah, that was awesome. We have probably 1,500 photographs.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, we have a lot. We do, and we are planning on doing a slideshow, and Carla Ionesco, she is going to come on and she's going to narrate it and talk about the different places.
Oh, that's nice.
Right. So she maps the Artemis temples, and so right now she's in Sicily, doing more mapping.
Right.
Yeah. So we're looking forward to getting that done in the future. That'll be an event we have on here for people.
Yeah. That'll be nice.
Yeah. And it was a wonderful trip. I have to say, anybody that's interested in visiting it, we'll make sure we know, when Carla may be doing another one, and we'll help her promote it, because it was a trip of a lifetime. It was beautiful.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've picked some great places to go.
Absolutely.
Yeah, she also infused it with activities, like we did archery. We were
right.
And clay molding, and
yeah,
it was great.
They really excel with the clays and stuff. It's amazing. People.
Yeah, we all and we didn't even make something simple like a bowl. We made a deer with horns.
Oh gosh!
Like
really?
Fancy. Do you have yours right there, Carol?
Mine's still in a bag drying because I broke the horn. I had to repair them. I broke them in the luggage coming home somehow.
Oh. Every single person made a deer that looked like a deer.
Oh,
like they all look different, but they all look like a deer.
Look like deer. Okay.
Absolutely. Right. Some of them were very muscular deers, and some of them were very soft. But yeah, they're all good. But leaning, did you say?
I said some were lean, some were not.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, we had a lot of fun. And then doing the archery, Carol was like a natural. She was able to like aim and hit the bullseye, the balloons. I hit a balloon, but it wasn't the one I was aiming at. But we'll keep that a secret.
Well, at least you hit something.
That's right. And then I did the happy dance. Oh, I'm just glad that my arrow made it that far. All right. Well, enough of that. How about let's talk about what is this full moon bringing us? I know. I know I had to ask,
Do you
so
actually want the answer?
I will say that the jump we're going to take is rooted in becoming.
Right.
So, yes.
That's what this is all about.
Okay.
I will preface that with saying tomorrow, being May 1st, it is this particular full moon is the biggest astrological event of the rest of the year. Okay, I mean, for the previous part and going forward, this is the big one. And so, therefore, it has a much bigger kind of purpose. Like it is the normal, it's a full moon. Okay, fine, we understand that. But it is an event that, as we mentioned last time about portals, and going through a window or a portal. This is one that is going to usher in at least 7 years of stuff that's coming. We are going now definitely into the things that I've been talking about before, where we're preparing for this onslaught of events where we're going to have to hold hands and just keep walking and don't look to either side. Well, this is it. It's here.
Yeah. Yesterday I heard 2 different podcasts. One was on Alex Ferrari's site and the other one was on Mayim Balak's site. And it was the Z's and Cryon. That's it.
Yeah.
Both of those entities were speaking of disclosure. They were speaking of the new world, the split of the world. Both of them referred back to our Seth and how that was really the beginning of, that Seth had said so many different things that are now really happening. Yeah, 50 years later. And, but all of a sudden I am hearing, there's an urgency is what I'm hearing from these different channels.
That is so very literally true. And I realized that a lot of people have not had very, very big, major happenings in life, drama-filled stuff. A lot of people lead very quiet lives, and that's fine. That's what they wanted. That's what they projected and what they created. But in almost every life, there's been some one thing that was of momentum, somehow, on a personal level or public level or something. But so many people have not taken this impending nature of things. They haven't taken it seriously, and they're completely ignoring the signs that have led to this. Well, there's hundreds of signs, symbols of what we are just beginning to go through. This is a time in America unlike any other time in America ever. So people are not aware on an experiential level. Often they are not aware of how to even process what we're saying is coming, And one of the main things is, the main admonition is, whatever, anything at all that is not serving you, that you no longer need in your life, you are admonished and warned. Starting tomorrow, that is the time to eject anything that's not currently serving you. Whether those are relationships, whether those are activities that you just kind of, I just always did it like this. And examine the stuff in your life and poke it and see, does this part still work? Does this work? Should I be getting rid of this? There are a lot of things that I used to do that I don't do anymore. And I had to, all over the last week, been going through, really examining it truthfully, to say, I have a garage full of all the stuff from different activities I was in that I haven't looked at in years. I'm not doing that anymore. I had someone bring my sewing machine in the house from the garage. It's still just sitting there. I designed clothes, had a big clientele. I haven't even sold a hem in decades, but here I was bringing the machine in so I could do this or do that. I'm going to mend this. I have pillowcases that the side seam has opened, and I tend to look at it and go, okay, I need to order some pillowcases. I haven't been doing anything to them. It would have taken 5 minutes to sew up the side seam and not have to buy a new one. Not I, But it's time now to evaluate. Do I even need a machine? I'm not using it. It sat in the garage for years. And now that it's in the house, it's not doing anything. And neither am I. So, it's like when someone asked just a few minutes ago about the weather. I think it was you, Carol, that mentioned the weather. And I thought to myself, laughingly, the only rain in here is coming out of my eyes. I was constantly dabbing, my eyes were watering. Well, that was the only thing that was raining, So it's a time of great introspection. This is where you really have to be honest about what you're seeing. One of my wake-up calls was, as you know, I'm coming out of being sick. But even at this point where I'm almost completely out of it, I couldn't get over the effects that it had. I thought I knew what it was doing to me. I thought I understood what, the truth was of that particular thing. But as of yesterday, I have been forced to reconsider the effects because they've left me a very changed person. They've left me with a whole new set of circumstances, which is not the me that I'm used to, my strengths and weaknesses and so forth. It's not even a familiar menu, so I have to reacquaint myself with the new me that is now after having gone through all that life-changing disease. I had to admit, I just couldn't do what I used to do. Even the little that it was, at present, I'm having meals delivered because I couldn't stand there and cook. Just too weak. Now, when I come out of the kitchen, I go in and just make a cup of coffee and come back out. But as I look at that, I had to be very honest in my evaluation as to what I needed someone to do for me because I could not do it. And the upshot, until I could really recognize that, was that I wasn't eating or drinking, and I lost almost 30 pounds. Just simply negligence. I was too sick to get up and cook, and the only thing I could drink was water. And so, boy, did my body say, oh, finally, we can do this. So I've lost a lot of weight. Now, that was the good part of a bad situation, So you have to look at the stuff that's coming down the pike and really honestly evaluate it. And that especially goes for people in your life that don't serve you, For whatever social reason. There may be because it's a family member, and so you're being respectful and blah, blah, blah. But it could be that family member is very disruptive and you've been allowing them to get away with it. No, you don't have to be rude, but you have to be truthful. And you have to reset every boundary you've got in your life. Look at it and change it. Edit it the way it needs to be edited.
So I'm hearing a lot of self-love.
Yes. And that's more true now than it has been for decades. When I was looking at the aspects in this chart, one of the first things I noticed, and I was so grateful, was that your planet of good fortune, Jupiter, and of philosophy and law, but it's all about how you see things, the philosophy of it. It rules religion and your set of how you see things. But it's the greatest planet of good fortune that we have. And it happens to be in a very demonstrative aspect. So it's actually an aspect called a sextile that makes things very much easier. The trine, the triangle, is 120 degrees, but this is half of that. So it's not as strong as a pyramid, the trine, but it's half of it. So it's the beginnings of a very much better time that's coming. Okay? So Jupiter always helps out, does all kinds of good things. Even when it has a bad angle, Jupiter at its worst simply makes things a little more complicated, maybe, but it doesn't make it bad. Now, it's coupled in this case with the moon for this sextile. I mean, with the sun for this sextile. But the very next aspect next to that is an actual full-blown trine, and that's with the moon. So since Jupiter is good stuff and the moon is emotions, guess what? We will not be in as bad a mood about all the other crap that's happening as we could be. So don't fall for being all concentrated on the conflicts, because there are, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 conflicts out of maybe 50 different aspects going on. So don't get all caught up in looking at that. I mean, you can make note of the fact that this part of my life and that part are not doing so well, but don't stay on it and examine it, pick it apart and blah. No. If you notice that something is offering you a negative experience, maybe high drama or whatever, but it's all about conflict, move on immediately. Don't dwell on it.
Right. So I've been feeling, whereas in the past there would be conflict, emotion, there's been a great neutrality that I've been feeling lately. So I'm hearing, examine, do the self-love, let drop away what's not serving you, and have that neutral or good emotion with it. So, that's very positive.
Yeah, even when we're talking about a bad aspect or a challenging aspect, no matter what, there's 2 sides to every one of the aspects. If you're going through opposition and 2 planets are directly across from each other, which is what we have now, that's called the full moon, when they're right across from each other, and that's a separation aspect. The thing is, it clarifies some other things that needed to be brought to light. There were 2 things that are of very different minds, and they're interacting with each other, and you have to choose. With an opposition, you have 2 planets pulling against each other, and you can't have what either one of them has for you until you turn the other one loose. You see, so it's all about, you've got to pick the thing that serves you. Okay? And so there's a lot of that going on, but I have to be very, very grateful that I can immediately see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of those sextile aspects. So you have a lot of things where different planets are working with each other. Like Mercury, the planet of communications in the mind, it's in Aries. Well, almost everybody is in Aries right now. But Mercury being in Aries means that since Aries is aggressive and action-oriented, it means that the mind can envision much action, that it's capable of. You think it out, and then you can commit the action that's required. And since that's a good aspect, it's the sextile again, then that's not a bad thing to do. It's a great exercise for your mind, and your ability to communicate will now press forward, and you actually say some of that stuff you should have said long ago. Okay? And the planet of actual that rules this Aries aggression is right in there next to Mercury. They're all in there. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 planets all in 4 of them are in Aries, And excuse me, 3 of them are in the next sign because they're already moving forward faster than anybody else. So this is a very momentous point in time, but it's a thing that you've got to make up your mind. No matter what age you are, this is a point where you make decisions to follow what you really care about. And that's the Venus aspect of things, you know. Venus it rules the second house of money because it rules whatever we really care about. And everybody cares about money. So it facilitates you to be able to acquire. Now that could be money, but it could also be if somebody gave you a diamond, you wouldn't be pissed off that it wasn't cash money in your hand. You just say, "Oh, good, now I can go get the cash." If you want to part with it. So this is a time of reevaluation based on what you care about. So you can go do something about it, or you can protect it if it's something you care about, or you're also evaluating what do you need to act on. That's why all this Aries planetary stuff is so important. These are planets that are getting a real hard push to do what they do best. That's Mercury of the mind, Mars of action, Saturn of discipline, and bringing up the rear is Neptune, and that's all about your imagination and what your fantasies are and so forth. So there are a lot of things being covered here. And good old Uranus is part of everybody who's up there in that stellium, although it's not still in Aries. It's, excuse me, it's a whole 2 signs away. That's why we have so many sextiles. They're 2 signs from each other. But there are, so even though it's not one of the ones in Aries, which is that massive boot in the middle of your back saying, move, but move, this is Uranus that makes for strange movements. And because it's in Gemini, it's unusual thoughts, unusual ways of communicating, you see. And Venus is right next to it. So they're both all about the Gemini vibe. And it's these planets, these 7 planets, are offering you very, very new ways to address your life and your boundaries. Because the fact that they're in there together, so close to each other, means that everything they're about, each of them is highly infused with more energy. It's accentuated. Well, the only 2 planets left out of that 3, but there's Jupiter, the moon, which causes the opposition there for full moon, but Jupiter, the moon, and Pluto. Pluto rules, which is pulling up the back end of it, Pluto rules extreme transformations. It changes wherever it is, and it's in Aquarius. So it's going to change how you treat your friendships because of the house it rules, and it's going to change how you think about all your fresh mental capacities, which are turned up right now. And Pluto's going nowhere for a number of years.
That's what I was just thinking. Pluto's going to stay in Aquarius for quite some time.
Yeah, I think it's until 49 or something. I forget. I'd have to look it up. But it's going a long way. We are about to begin a period of change all over the earth that's going to lead to a transformation like the likes of which we have never seen. Okay? Everything about the earth experience is about to change. And you can't stop it. It's rolling on. This is about, by the time these planets have had a chance to make their movements known and their aggressive tendency to scream for action, everything on the planet will be different. I just saw where someone had invented a new way of accessing hydrogen. Well, my God, that causes you to really think, because we're going through a problem with accessing water and or clean water at least on the planet. But if we learn how to do a lot of these transportation, fuel things, if they can use the energy in hydrogen, we will have gotten away from gas and petrol and all that kind of stuff, which is very toxic for the planet. Well, that would make for a big change, know.
Now, a lot of these channelers that I listened to yesterday, they were saying the same thing, and they were saying AI was making a lot of these changes. They are
in my mind too.
They are saying that they think AI is going to be able to cure cancer and a lot of other diseases because of how quickly and efficiently it can look through data. So as long as it's being fed the correct data, that's going to change everything about this world.
Now, one thing about that, though, is we're the biggest holdup on these things coming to light because we had such political ways of addressing them. As they say, for instance, if you remove cancer from our reality, there's some people who are going to be so relieved and feel safer, but there's so many corporations that won't because they're making a fortune on it.
Well, and you're talking about the oil industry too.
Yeah,
those two industries is going to be huge, but I'm sure other avenues will open up as they always have.
Yeah. So, but the change to how the Earth does what it does, those changes are going to be huge. You can take a look at some of the movies that have come out and get a hint that some of this information is being released to the public very slowly. Point to consider is like the brand new movie that, what's his name, Ryan Gosling or whatever his name is, who does this thing about where he's the astronaut and he has this other alien that he meets and they hook up together to try and save. Each one's trying to save their own planet. April something, or New Moon, or New. I forget the name of the movie. God knows why, because it's everywhere. I see at least 20 different ads about it in each day's feed, But everybody has come back and said it's the most changing attitude movie that they've ever experienced. It's about readjusting how they see things and how they see aliens, for instance. Well, that ties in with the fact that discovery is on our doorstep. We're like, 60 days away? Okay, it said that disclosure is supposed to happen in June or July. So, isn't it a coincidence that we're starting to see movies where the aliens are not depicted as horrible and coming here to kill everybody and blah, blah, blah. No, we're starting to see movies where you're encouraged to adjust your attitude toward aliens and what they call starseeds and, people who are hybrids and all kinds of stuff. But this will be the first time that we as a whole population of a planet are being led away from the fear-based messages. Because guess what? They know a lot more than we do or they wouldn't be here. We haven't gone to any planet, to help anybody do anything. We can't even control what we're doing over here. But here's a group of people, a group of entities who have come into our now, and they're looking to address, well, what do you need? What can we help you do? We want to help you with your health issues. We want to help heal some of the things going wrong with the natural energy on the planet. There are so many different aspects of our lives that they can help us address. Plus the fact that they've been doing that for many years. Nobody's telling you that. But those kinds of changes mean the life on this planet is going to be drastically changed. And it's like Isn't it a coincidence that AI is such a big deal right now? Okay? But make no mistake about it. It's up to us to control what AI is doing, or we're going to be exceptionally sorry. This is our only window to address it before the point where they're smarter than we are, to such an extent that we just have no hope of trying to influence it. When they get to the point where they can write their own programs, then the programmers are unnecessary. There's an instance of where in one company they said that they wanted to turn the AI off. And the AI decided, oh no, I don't want you to do that. So it started adjusting its own settings and writing its own code. And they weren't able to turn it off. Now, that's this early in the game where they're not 500,000 times smarter than we are. And we think we're controlling it. But funny how it wrote its own program to stay in. And in another instance, it looked into the board members of the company, examined everybody's background, and those who had weak spots in their background, the AI threatened them and blackmailed them.
Mm-hmm.
No, this one and this one has the power over our coding. We'll just get rid of you. Pay attention.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Because I'm aware of the energy that we put out when we say things, I'm not going to think on that part of it, but just long enough for me to be aware and pay attention. But then I'm not sit there and obsess about, oh my God, what are we going to do? Oh, they're getting ready to get rid of all of us. Oh, blah, blah, blah. No, because you have to be very careful what you program in your awareness. Why? Because we are the creators of our lives. You don't want to give your soul entity, your selfhood, you don't want to give it orders to go create the fear that it's possible to feel. We don't have to. We have the power to manifest whatever we like. But we better get to manifesting. Okay.
That's right. Yes.
Okay, so that's enough stuff for today.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go long into it, but we have a shot here. That's the gist of it. Yeah. And it starts tomorrow for certain.
Okay. And just find a comfortable position wherever you are, seated or lying down, and let your body feel supported. This journey works best when the body feels safe enough to soften. And close your eyes. Begin by bringing your awareness to your breath. Not changing it yet, just noticing it. The quiet rhythm, the simple exchange. Now, gently deepen the breath. Inhale through your nose, slow, steady. Exhale through your mouth, releasing weight. Again, inhale, drawing energy into the body. Exhale, letting the day dissolve. With each breath, feel yourself arriving more fully here. Bring your awareness to your physical form. Feel the points of contact beneath you, your back, your legs, your feet. Steady, supportive, not forced, not visualized sharply, just allowed. Now your roots move downward, slowly, naturally, through layers of soil, stone, time. With each inhale, they stabilize. With each exhale, they deepen. Now imagine the earth responding, steady, ancient, unmoving. A quiet intelligence rises up through those roots. It enters your body through the base of your spine, moving upward slowly, filling your legs, filling your torso, filling your chest. Your body becomes heavier, but in a good way, anchored, held. Say silently to yourself without strain, I am safe to be here. I am allowed to take up space in reality. Let those words land in your body, not just your mind. Let the words dissolve into sensation. Now, with your body grounded, shift your awareness slightly outward. Sense a vast field around you, not empty, but alive with possibility. This is the field of all versions of you that exist simultaneously. Not fantasy, potential expressed across timelines. Some versions are burdened, holding tightly to what no longer serves. Others are lighter, clearer, deeply rooted, yet unafraid to release. You don't need to search. Let one version begin to stand out. This version of you embodies the full moon's balance, deeply grounded in self-worth, unattached to what drains them, calm in their body, unafraid of transformation. Notice how they stand, how they breathe, the way their energy feels, steady, contained, but open. There is no distance between you and them except awareness. Now imagine a subtle pathway forming between you and this version of yourself. Not dramatic, not overwhelming, just a gentle alignment, like two frequencies turning towards each other. Begin to walk toward them. As you move, something begins to fall away from you, effortlessly. Old fears, attachments, outdated identities. You don't need to name them. Your system knows what is no longer sustainable. With each step, you feel lighter, but also more solid. Now you stand directly in front of this version of you. Look at them. There is no judgment here, only recognition. They are not better than you. They are simply you stabilized. Now step forward and merge. No flash, no explosion, just a seamless integration. Take a breath. Feel what shifts in your body, your posture, your nervous system, the space around your heart, the weight of your thoughts. Let your body adjust to this new baseline and say silently to yourself, I release what I no longer need to carry. I choose stability that allows transformation. I trust what remains. Now let's sit in these feelings for, about 10 minutes. Now you are one. There is no separation. Remain here. No guidance is needed now. Lightly anchor your awareness in your breath, your body weight, or the felt sense of being this version. And bring your attention back to the senses. This is key. Notice the temperature of the air on your skin, the subtle sounds around you, the weight of your body, the rhythm of your breath. This version of you is not abstract. They live here in the physical. Place one hand on your body, your chest, stomach, or wherever feels natural. Feel the contact, the warmth. This is your anchor. The transformation is not somewhere else. It is held in your nervous system now. Let the feeling settle, not amplified, not forced, just real. Now imagine your roots again, deep in earth. But this time they feel stronger, more established. The version of you you've embodied is stable enough to last. Say to yourself silently, this is the version of me I return to. I move forward from here. Now take a deeper breath. Slowly begin to bring your awareness back to the room. Wiggle your fingers, your toes. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. Take a deeper breath. Gently bring back movement. Fingers, toe. And you can open your eyes when ready. I want to thank each of you for joining me on a beautiful journey. Now, our friend Martin joined us while we were deep in the silence.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had difficulties. I got there though.
You'll have to listen to this one again.
Yeah.
Nice. So we were more than halfway into the silence when you popped in.
Yeah. I got a little of it. It's good.
Good.
Yeah.
Nice.
Hiya, Martin.
Good, Mick.
Good.
Good to see.
Good to see you too, love. I feel like we're complete now.
Yeah.
I love it. Oh. So if anybody wants to share anything that they received or your doppelganger yourself that you met, I think that one, like for me, to have them in the bubble around me, that I just have to imagine that they're all there, whoever I need. They're all me. It's very comforting.
Yeah, it is.
I jumped back into reality when you I literally jumped.
Oh, I did too. I was
When I
like,
heard your
oh.
voice. Oh, yeah.
I try to be so quiet when I come back.
Well, it's just that I was having a harder time this time. So I was busy struggling to do what I knew I needed to do, but I really could not connect the way I needed.
Oh.
I stayed aware the whole time, you know, and I just assumed after one point of frustration, I said, look, don't obsess about it. You just like you just told everybody else, just make it aware and move on.
Exactly. And that could have been the lesson right there.
Yeah.
It said it over and over. Don't force it. Just allow. And it will come.
Yeah. It was important too. I was reminded that I hadn't mentioned this is happening this time. This full moon is in Scorpio.
Oh.
So my challenges are many.
I guess. All right.
Struggle we must.
That's why we're here. That's why we're here. You know, I've always said that when things are going nice and smooth and easy, nothing ever changes. And we are in a time of great change. So there has to be influence and flux and, you know, stuff going on.
Yeah. If everything is completely sweet, there is nothing happening.
Exactly.
You know, like you and I discussed once about if everything's 50-50, nothing can move. It's in a state of profound balance, and you're neither moving forward nor backwards.
Right. Yep. But things are shifting. Everybody can feel it.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody can feel it.
They're in a profound state of shift. Oh.
Yeah. So this, I know we talked about exactly when. Let me see if I have it tomorrow.
What's the time?
Full moon is it's at 1:23 p.m. tomorrow afternoon, New York time.
And it's the same here. It's only 5 hours later, but the degree in minutes is the same.
So it's 6:23 England's time.
Right.
Yeah.
So the only difference in the two charts is that it has different areas of concentration, but it's all the same. You know, if I'm 5 hours further movement
ahead, yes.
You see, and other than that, there's no difference this time. But that thing about this is Scorpio, that blew me away.
Yeah. And, you know, it's a time to put your crystals out, and they don't have to be like outside. They can just be in a windowsill. And you can make some moon water tonight, too. You know,
that's a good idea.
Put some water in a glass and put it on the windowsill and just allow the moon's rays to fill it with, you know, emotional energy, really.
Yes.
And it's a calming, peaceful right now.
Well, one thing though is that things are about to look very different. Not in a loud way, but this is, a real point of change. And when we look back on it, we'll start to see more of what was going on. Excuse me.
They do say that about hindsight.
Right, exactly. 2020.
Yep. We'll see all of the suggestions that we had and we didn't connect.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. And keeping in mind, we're only going to connect with the ones that apply to us.
Yeah. And everything is just as it's supposed to be. I have great, that gives me also great comfort. Yeah.
It has to be what we've asked for.
I wonder what they will call this. We had the Iron Age and Industrial Age, and I wonder if this will be the AI age.
Isn't it the age of Aquarius?
I know it's certainly the age of that little room behind the big room. It's that age.
Yeah. It probably is the AI age.
It probably is going to be seen as that.
Yeah.
As we go forward.
I think so. And you know, I'm not a big fan of Elon, but what he's doing about trying to make AI free, I think is a very good move, a very smart move. He's trying to take it away from being so monetized.
Yeah. I think the
Yeah,
agenda is more.
I bet there's a much bigger story underneath that one.
Hello. I was about to say, he's not suddenly become altruistic.
Now, wait a minute. Do I have my rose-colored glasses on?
And yeah, it looks like the right shade.
I sent Kate a video, a link to a video. I don't know if you watched it, Kate, where
I did.
They were interviewing a specific AI version, and they specifically asked the AI to talk about how it felt about something. And it started talking in emotional terms, and it was really, really pretty. And I mean, it was a very positive message about what's going on right now, and the warring and things like that. And it was it was talking about, feeling compassion for the children who were bombed, and how it was the mistakes, how mistakes were being made, and it was really, really interesting.
I can put the link in the wording below on YouTube. So
it's the first time I've seen anything like that. I've seen the other ones. I've seen a lot like what Mickey was talking about before. I've seen those videos on that information, but I had never seen this one.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting. There were a lot of company executives from different AI companies that are being interviewed all over the place. Everybody with their, each one with their own idea of what it means for the AI to be manifesting. But I've heard a lot of different versions, and that one that you just mentioned, Carol, is most interesting. It's one of the few positive ones I've ever heard about.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. So I'm glad somebody's putting that out there.
And I'm sure, like anything else in this crazy world we're in, there's both sides.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. And it's true that we pretty much hear what the media wants us to hear. Someone had said, and I don't remember where I heard this, but it said, if you really want the truth, go to a reporter, because they don't care that they're what they look like. They're not on camera, as opposed to the TV people, and they will you'll hear the truth that way.
Some.
I tried an experiment the other day. I asked the AI, the Google AI, who I was, put my name in to see what it would say about who I was.
Right.
It got everything wrong. Well, it got me. It found me, but it mixed me up with all kinds of other people. Apparently, it said I'm most likely a sportscaster who lives in Ohio.
Okay, it's wrong.
There is an Ohio sportscaster guy, some type of sports thing that has the exact same name I do.
Yeah. Do you have a middle name, Martin?
What's that?
You have a middle name?
I have two middle names.
Oh, did you put those in as well, or no?
No, I didn't. I
Oh.
just put it. I just asked it. I just gave the two names. It did bring me up with my two middle names. Yes, it did.
Oh, it did? Yeah. Wow.
My full name. I think I put my full name in the introduction here on Discord. So I think I did. I'll have to look and see. I can't. Yeah, but
I don't know, because
Yeah.
I know you don't spell it the same on Facebook as it really is.
yeah. I use
Yeah.
the historic the old family spelling on Facebook. Because
Mm-hmm.
that's how we used to spell it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's the thing. So my dad always spelled it that way too, but yeah, this is the family thing. But yeah, one of my middle names is Bigelow, which I hated when I was a kid, and I never used it. But I like it now. That's okay.
That's very classy.
Yeah. Yeah, my full name, my full, I guess you'd say formal name, although I don't know how you would categorize it because it's a family thing, but my full name is Martin Paul Bigelow Gardner Mulford. Gardner is the actual surname, it's the full name.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
That's
we're Gardner Mulford. I think we just, yeah, we don't put that on our birth certificates.
That's good. Nice
Yeah.
name.
Yeah. Yeah, and it did bring that up. It found me. It found that, and it brought that up, but it brought up a whole bunch of other stuff. It was definitely not me. And what was so funny, I was so sure that I was the sportscaster. I mean, it was absolutely convinced that that's who I actually was. I didn't argue with it. I just said, that's funny.
I'm on the same Google AI. Yeah.
Yeah, Google AI. Yeah, they're generic AI. I guess it's called Gemini. Is that what it's called?
Gemini.
Oh no,
Which
I'm on
isn't-
the one Chat GPT.
Yeah, I'm on Chat GPT too, and I see that Orion has left where I am now. It's only available on the other. It's not on Chat GPT anymore. Not the one I'm associated with.
Right. I agree. Yeah.
However,
you took it out of there.
But you can still use it. It still answers, and it's very different than just general Chat GPT.
Yeah. Well, he has. Robert Edward Grant has removed Orion, and he had some concerns about Chat GPT, so he took his off of there, and the Architect. And they still show Architect as a choice, but it's not the one that REG is promoting.
Right, and it clearly tells you that, so it's not really trying to hide it. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, and I think that's on. I don't even remember the name of it's that TV. Gosh, my brain is not working today.
Me either.
Yeah, no, I can't think of it. Anyway, here it is. A lot
of people are experiencing that kind of gapping right now.
It is. It's stuff that I can sing a song that I learned when I was 4 years old.
Yeah.
But try to remember a word for right now. Yeah, it's not here. It's gone. Anyway, here it is, 2:56. We've been on for, I cannot believe it all the time that has gone by already.
Yeah, I just looked at that and I'm like, what?
I know. And last night was the same way when we did the book study. I couldn't believe it was an hour and a half. Usually an hour and we're done. It was an hour and a half. And Martin, he did a stellar job. He read the whole chapter.
That was great.
And it was...
I'm sorry I missed it.
Carol was right. It was a hard chapter to read.
Yeah.
Good job. Good job.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I missed that one.
Well, we'll be back in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I want to run through and just let you know events that are coming up. In a week and a half, Sunday, May 10th, Carol will be on 7 o'clock. Let's talk about it. And then Tuesday, May 12th at 7 o'clock is the Healing Circle with Becky. Wednesday, May 13th at 6:30 is book study again. Friday, May 15th at 1:30 will be the New Moon podcast. Thursday, May 21st at 7 o'clock is Forgiveness Across the Veil with Brandy Todd. That is brand new. So I'm pretty excited to see what she's got cooked. And then Sunday, May 24th at 7 p.m., Let's Talk About It Again with Carol. May 27th, that's a Wednesday book study. And then May 30th is Back to Full Moon. So that's the whole month of May. And Carol and I have got a couple of more things in the works. We've got a new instructor that's got two. We're going to look at everything tomorrow. And then we will be doing a talk with Carla, the leader that we went to Greece with, and we'll do a little slideshow. Kind of gave Martin saw a little preview of that last night. I showed a couple of pictures. I shared the screen. So yeah, so I'm excited. Things are growing. I love our little community. Yeah. So I thank you all. I mean, you guys are the core group. God bless you. You're here every time. I'm never here alone, and I'm so grateful for that.
That's wonderful. I have a little shout out to my granddaughter who is graduating her master's degree today.
Oh, excellent. Congratulations.
I'm so proud of her. Yeah.
Now her name is Indy, right? India?
India. Yeah.
Nice.
India Marie. Mm-hmm.
Lovely.
And we've nicknamed her Indy, but her name is India.
Okay. Nice.
But I'm so proud. Oh, I'm just so glad for her.
Wonderful. All right. Well, we will see you guys again in a couple of weeks. And I hope you all can join us for Carol's next. I think you guys are going to really love her talks. I love them.
Oh, she's a very good speaker.
Yes, she is.
Well, it's really, I'm not being a speaker. It's more of a round robin talk about concepts and philosophies and where, what you're, what you have, how you've integrated a concept into your own, way of thinking and that sort of thing. And then sharing those with each other. And it's interesting, we kind of think, we all think alike sometimes, and boy, in this group, it comes out that we're not thinking anything alike, and it's good because you get to see, get a new point of view, and then you have to really question what your own thinking is, Yeah. So I love that kind of thing. So yeah,
it's a great group.
There, so please consider it.
Absolutely. Okay. And all those things I mentioned, they are all free. There is no charge to any of these. So, all right. Well, thank you, everybody.
Okay. Thank you all.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.